How's everyone doing? Karen here with this week's topic, and it is on how to be supportive without being an outright ally. That might seem a little bit confusing, like, well, how am I going to be an ally without being an ally? But it's actually a lot more than that. Let's do this. For some people, they don't want to go and do this whole crazy, like, stickers on their car and marching and parades and stuff, and that is perfectly fine. So how can you help them to be better, just more supportive, or even be an ally? Some of you are pretty young. We're emphasis on the youth part of the name, and you will be entering the job market soon. And you may be the first trans person your fellow employees, your coworkers, your colleagues ever actually meet or work with. There's nothing wrong with this. They will probably have questions though. And sometimes they don't know how to phrase them, or they don't understand certain terms don't get used. Now, we all have friends that are gay or lesbian. I certainly do. Everybody I know knows them, or there's a big group or whatever. And so there's been a pretty good acceptance towards the lesbian and gay community, but there are not as many trans people out there. And so some people want to know more. They may not have the best tact when asking these questions. You have to understand this. And you have to understand the big difference between what is actually transphobic and mean versus just they don't know what they're talking about and they worded it wrong. And usually it comes down to their tone or how they talk. If they ask a question, they happen to feature that word, and it's like, you set them straight, you let them know, hey, that's not a word we use. You let them know this is a better word to use, this is a better way to use that word, and then they move on. That is not transphobic. That right there is just them not knowing. And you have to understand, most people you come in contact with, you could very easily be the first trans person they ever actually knowingly meet. Understanding this is incredibly important for you, and try to keep that in mind. Also understand their tone. If they are being purposefully derisive or purposefully mean, then you have a problem. If they're just using the wrong words on occasion because they don't know yet, then we don't have a problem. The biggest thing you can do though is just be supportive of them being supportive. Try and answer their questions. Try and give them advice. Try and work alongside them. They want to learn, and you should be able to help them. I understand it's not always going to be comfortable, and at times it can be incredibly awkward, and you could be like, I need to back away. That's fine. Now, one of the unfortunate sides of this is bullying. It's not something we like talking about, but it's something that happens. And it is at times very hard to bring up. Now, I, for one, have taken martial arts and I've been in the military, so when it comes to bullies, I probably don't have the best advice for you. But the idea is more so, how do you help those, like let's say a teacher. How do you help a teacher understand what bullying is and how to address it? And that's where you've got to come in. And that's where you've got to come with your own ideas. That's where you've got to think. You've got to be able to give advice. Now, I can tell you what I would do, and having been in the military and having done martial arts, it's not a very good idea. There are better ways around it, and the sad thing is I can't necessarily tell them to you. You will have to kind of work on it yourself, and you will have to work alongside others. And when you are giving that advice, when you are answering those questions, throw something in there. Tell them a little bit of something. Tell them how to recognize a bullying situation and some pieces of advice on how to deal with it. But most importantly, ask them to help out others. Ask them to talk with other people. Ask them to pass on this information that you have given them. If they're asking you a question they want to know, that is awesome. Have them tell other people. Have them tell their friends. Have them tell their coworkers. Have them go and spread the message. If you're able to send them any links or anything to be able to tell them, hey, guys, guess what? This is important. Do so. And make it so they can send those links also. Make it so that way they can understand what the situation is and what they can do and how they can help out other people through other people. Just share a video. send them a link. Let them know how they can be doing a great job, and you can do so in a very simple manner. Speaking of sharing a link, we are partnering this week with a new organization called Faces for Equality. We actually have one of our very own who's a board member there, and so far I'm digging what they're doing. Great messages on how to be allies and supportive of the LGBT community. Please feel free to check them out. We will leave links down in the description below, not just for ourselves here at Trans Youth Channel, but also for this week's partner, Faces for Equality. As always, thanks for watching. Press that like, favorite, subscribe button, share everywhere with everyone, and have a great week. Till next time, bye. This week's topic is a very simple one. It's your experience on coming out. I didn't come out till I was 26. It was actually the night before Thanksgiving.